Okay, I'm going to show two different tools that are really helpful when creating more complex logos and designs. So the first thing we're going to do is draw two squares. So go to the rectangle tool and draw. It doesn't matter where you draw them. Just make sure you draw them at one is 3 inches. One is 3 inches by 3 inches. So I'm just drawing a 3 inch by 3 inch square here. You can see where I'm changing my dimensions up in the top right hand corner. Hitting enter. That's one way to draw it. If I click down below, I'll change the width. For this second one is 2 inches by 2 inches. Out of habit, it's going to either on your keyboard press B or up here click the selection tool just to go back to the selection tool, because typically you're moving objects after you draw them depending on what you're doing. It's just good practice, unless you're going to continue to use that um, tool. So a few different things here I want to show are called the align tool and the pathway tool. So if I click the shape here, first one, you can see on the right hand side my properties change. So you can change, like I just did, you can change the width and the height. Down here, it says align. If I only have one thing selected, which I do, I can click these icons here and it will align them with the artboard. So here it says horizontal align left, horizontal align center. So this will place it in the center, the right, the top, the bottom. You can click these to kind of see where they will align. This is helpful if you want to make sure it's snapped in a specific position. Okay. Now, if I click and drag this, you can see it shows these pink reference lines, so it will snap into some of the key spots as well. But what we want to do is line these two squares here on top of each aligned with each other from the center point. So what I'm going to do is select both of these at the same time. So what I can do is click one, hold shift, click the other, or I can click while I have the selection tool open, click, drag, and select everything that I want to change. Those two, so it would be these two squares. And on the right hand side, if I click align here, so we want to align these in the center, click that, it will snap these into the center. For this example, they already were, so I'll just move this over here to show you. Again, if I click align center, it'll snap those into place. So that's a really great tool when you're moving things. You want to align things. Now for this example, what I want to do and what I want to show you, there's another thing here called Pathfinder. So for this example, I'm going to click this first or the second smaller square. I'm just going to click and drag this. Keeping it centered, I'm going to snap it so it's centered there. Just to double check, I'm going to highlight this. I'm going to click center align. Okay. So what we can do is if I select both these, where's the Pathfinder icon, this allows us to unite, to minus front, to intersect, and to exclude parts. So the most common one we use is the unite. What this will do is if I click unite, it's going to blend these shapes together. So that will be one now. Now this will be one individual block. Okay. The other thing is the minus front. So that's going to delete the front portion of this. So if I click here, you can kind of see it creates its own new shape now. The next one is going to be the intersect. So whatever intersects, so it's going to basically just keep this center rectangle here. So if I click this, it just creates that. Now that wouldn't make sense for this example. You could probably just draw this rectangle. But in this case, if we wanted to unite this, right? Or if we wanted to create this specific shape here, that would make sense. So I'll show another quick example. What I will do is just delete this. So if I click a shape, click delete, it will get rid of it. Now, what I want to do is use the pen tool. So up here, pen tool, I'm just going to draw, click on this anchor, click. If I hover over points, I want to have this centered. I'm going to draw a little roof. We'll make a little house. I can kind of hover. I just clicked once and I'm moving over, just dragging up, keeping the center as a reference. I'm just going to draw another line from here to here. Okay. Right now, these are individual shapes, right? Again, if I want to center these, Now, I want to join these together. I'm just going to have these hover over and snap. Select them both. And what I can do, if I click join, it's going to join those together. It creates one shape. So that's where it gets, when we start to practice and get in and build more shapes, this tool becomes very useful. Let's see a line in the Pathfinder tool. Okay, so I'll show one more using the ellipse. So I'll just draw a circle. We'll draw this. We'll make this first one 3 by 3. Okay, and what I'll do is draw another. We'll leave that one the same. I'm gonna hit right click, copy, paste. And what I'll do is I'm just going to kind of create a moon shape. What I'll do is I'm going to click this first one. And on the left-hand side, I'm going to reverse it. So I want the fill to be transparent and the stroke to be transparent and the fill to be black. Okay. You can see I have two different pieces here. If I select both of these and click the minus front, it will now create that moon shape. Right, so instead of drawing the moon itself, I basically use several different shapes to create the shape I want. I could join them together, right, if I wanted to, for whatever reason. If you wanted to create a different shape, I could subtract, right, and it will just keep the intersection. Sorry, and it will just keep the what's intersected, right? So again, you're using multiple shapes to create the shape you want. You're not always just free drawing and trying to get to that shape. You might have to use different shapes to create the shape that you would like. So again, the align in the Pathfinder tool, very useful.